Hi everyone, welcome to IU Extended Enugu 2022. I'm very excited to be here today. I will be sharing a few thoughts on the future of PWAs. So I should mention that PWAs are concepts not usually discussed in developer cycles like this. However, I hope to do a good job explaining what they are and explaining what the future holds for them. Quick one about me. I am Ifeanyi, senior software engineer at BIM. Here are my social media handles. Please note my Twitter handle for when we get to the QA session. Here is an outline of what we'll be discussing during this session. I need to mention that I would not be teaching how to build a PWA during this session, so we're not going to be coding. So this is just a chat. It's a fireside chat. So we'll not be coding. But however, I would include a link to a free code camp article written by another author, which teaches you how to build PWAs with vanilla HTML, CSS, and JS. So PWA is a framework agnostic thing. You can build them using any of your favorite technologies, whether React, Angular, or any other thing you build with. So it doesn't matter. However, this will teach you how to build with vanilla. So here are the things we'll be considering in this objectives here. So what exactly are PWAs? They are apps which function as a bridge between native apps and traditional web apps. So native apps are apps you find in the App Store for Apple devices and in Google Play Store for Android devices. So essentially, we can say they are websites which have extra layers of development that let them act essentially like native apps. So when you visit a well-designed PWA, it looks and feels the same way. It has the same glossy aesthetic and feel. You would even feel like you are interfacing with a native app. We're going to be considering a demo shortly, which will show you what I mean. So even though I said they can be built with any technology, every PWA must have three basic components. So you must have a secure HTTPS connection, not just because of security, but because it is also an important trust factor for users. You must have a service worker. Service workers give your PWA caching superpowers. They're the reasons why when you visit this PWA, you have visited before, you are able, even when you're offline, you can still visit them because you have cached data. And so even when your network gets restored, it merely updates in the background. So your applications can work well offline. It also has a web manifest, which contains information about your PWA and icons and the rest of them. So here is a quick demo we're going to be seeing here. So please follow me closely. Follow me closely. Follow me closely. So I want you to do something. If you hear, type devcoffee-pwa.netlify.app. So when you visit this, you are going to notice that here, install devcoffee. When you click this button up here, this particular button, it tells you, a modal pops up which tells you to install. So when you click the install button, so we're going to click it now. Now, just notice how it feels. Notice how it looks. Notice how it looks. I'll be showing you this now. Now, notice I just installed this PWA and just notice how it looks. It feels, isn't it wonderful? It feels the exact same way as a normal app on my MacBook. And the beautiful thing about this is that you're on your devices, on your Android or iOS devices, when you install this web app on your devices, you would see it looks and feels the same way as other native apps on your phone. So just see, it's just so wonderful. So I would proceed to uninstall it now. So yes, uninstalled. So we are going to be returning to please follow me closely. Okay, so let's continue now. So let's consider PWA success stories. Now, in the year 2017, several brands announced their PWA success stories. Because of time, we're going to be looking at this at just Twitter. Now, how many of you have used Twitter Lite before? If you remember very well, Twitter Lite was this very lightweight Twitter app that allows you to use Twitter with very little data. So they saved data, and then they were very, very fast. If you remember very well, the size was less than 1 MB, and you essentially get the same thing you get from a main it's 2 MB client. Get the same thing from the Twitter Lite as well. This Twitter Lite was a PWA. It's very beautiful, especially considering the fact that you installed it from the Play Store. But then certain tools allows you to package PWAs as apps you can, as APKs or your iOS apps you can upload to Play Stores. And so that essentially was what Twitter Lite was a PWA. And imagine, see this crazy conversion here. It's just impressive. So because they did this, they had this conversion. So now I should mention that the most significant benefit for building PWAs rather than native apps are time and money. So imagine if you have to build a product now. Now you need to build an iOS code base with Swift, build a Kotlin code base for your Android, and have a web app separately. It's a whole lot of stress. And when you want to fix bugs, you have to touch multiple code bases as well. So why not just build just one, one code base to rule them all? When you have a PW, it's installed, labeled across all range of devices. You can install on your phone, on your MacBook, on your Windows devices, on your Chromebook, and it works fine in all of them. So essentially, it gives you more value for your time and money. Here are top 9 features of PWAs, and here are reasons why brands are choosing PWAs. Now let's contrast between these two. As far as capabilities, there are virtually no differences today. You see, you deliver them using secure connections in a browser. You can add them to the home screen for a full screen app-like experience, whereas native apps require an app store and multiple steps to download. There are also a whole lot of other reasons why PWs are better than native apps. You see, I have this all put here. So these are reasons, I think, my opinion on why I think that PW is actually better than native apps. Although there are situations when you would not want to develop a PWA. And that's because, as many of you would know, there are many APIs there are certain APIs that are not yet exposed to the browser. So you have them in the native environment, but they're not exposed yet to the browser. So in these situations, it is actually permissible and wise business decision wise to stick with building a native app in lieu of a PWA. Although I would personally advise that for situations like that, you should also have a companion web app, even though it's going to have stripped off features. So Google has an ongoing project, which is an effort to close the current gap between the web capabilities and those of native apps by exposing these other unexposed APIs to the browser. So there's a foreseeable future when web apps can basically function the exact same way because they can access basically every API. Now we have come to the meat of the discussion. So are PWAs the future of modern web development? Yes, I think they are the future. This is a quick answer here. I personally think that someday they are going to replace most native apps. So what you're going to have everywhere, PW will not, Apple Store and Google Play Store would go out of fashion. Yeah, so I'm foretelling the future here. Hopefully it happens someday. So now the long answer is some of you are going to become engineering managers someday. And you're going to have to make technical decisions which must favor your companies. So in this situation, it's important because you want to save time, you want to save money, you want the best for your business. So it's important you understand PWA technology, understand your product tech stack, and understand your user base. So when you do all of this, you would know whether you should stick with native apps or you should stick with building PWs. For example, in some industries like sports betting, for example, in these situations, you cannot build just PWs because you need things to work real time. So you need to build native apps and every time when you're dealing with sport betting. What does the future hold for them? Is there a foreseeable future when they become obsolete? Well, no, I don't think so. They are still very relevant and they are sure to be improved on in coming times. I believe so. Now we should describe the future here. We have come to comprehend the apparent future of PWs. However, there's no denying that native apps are very popular. You probably opened WhatsApp many times, more than 20 times today. So native apps are still very popular. But time will tell whether PWs will totally replace native apps or a future turn of event would tip the scale either ways. So either ways, we know that it's important engineers continue to do what is best for their businesses. We have come to the end of this session. Thanks for lending me your ears. Should you have any questions, you can shoot them to me on Twitter. mention at my handle at Muogbo, and I'll be very happy to answer your questions. Thank you.